So I've been tasked, I hope you can hear me okay. I've been tasked with quite the challenging miking situation, and today we're going to shoot this scene, and it's going to be a couple of surfers out on the open water, and production wants dialogue. So a couple of issues with this being that wireless range is going to be a huge issue, so I cannot rely on that. A lot of what we're going to be doing is shooting from the shore or shooting from kayaks, and so we're not going to be very close, and also wireless doesn't work too well, transmitters don't work too well when submerged in salt water, so we had to think of something different. And what I'm going to use to mic these surfers is Electrosonics PDR and DPA 4061. And I've already tried this. We've already, I think my second or third day here in Maui, I knew this scene was going to come up. And one of the crew members was able to go out with me to the beach, and we ran some tests. And even though the mics got a little wet, it still sounded great, because these 4061s are essentially waterproof. And we give them a little more proofing just so the water doesn't get on the capsule. But I want to show you how I'm going to do this. So I'm going to be using an Ursa strap around the cast. There's going to be two people out on surfboards, and what we're going to do is use this. So these are little dry packs, and they can live in here, and these will keep them perfectly clean, perfectly dry, just like this. There's a little bit of pressure on this, but certainly nothing that this mic can't handle. So another cool thing about the PDR is you can jam them with time code. So both will be jammed, the camera will be jammed, and post will be able to take these little micro SD cards that are in the Electrosonics PDR and be able to sync really, really easily. So I want to show you what I do. I'm going to put this behind them on an Ursa strap, and then they're both going to be wearing wetsuits. So I've already cleared it with production. The lobs are going to have to be visible. So there's going to be two of them. If one's going to be sitting here and the other here, the person on this side will be mic'd here on the collar of their wetsuit, and the other will be mic'd here. So I want to show you how I'm going to do that. It starts, I'm just going to give just for starters, just a little wind protection here. Probably that. Doesn't look like it. So I'm going to secure this foam cover on with a little bit of gaff tape, not too much. It'll help with the wind out in the open ocean. It's pretty noisy. It can get pretty windy out there, so just a little wind protection goes a long way. Next, I'm going to use some of these Rycoat overcovers, and this will just go on one side. So the way I see it is that the cast neck will block wind from one side, because they're going to be talking at each other like this. The cast body will block wind from one side, so I'm just going to use a little bit of this and put it on the opposite side. So we still don't have complete coverage over the mic itself with this, but it's still going to block wind. We're going to have wind block on this side, and it sounds really, really good. We'll secure this, just a little piece of plastic. Like that. This on here, just kind of like this, and wrap it around just for some additional wind protection from one side. And then I'm going to use these little clips to secure the mic to their wetsuit. So this will clip on like this, and the mic will be poking out right there. Luckily, their wetsuits are black, and that won't give me any issues with, it'll just keep the visibility of this at a minimum. So I should have put that wing cover on last. So just gonna put this here. This is the right orientation. You gotta make sure it's the right orientation. So this here. And we'll leave this cable up just to give it a little strain relief. And this will run under their wetsuit and down just like this. Now their wetsuits go up to here, so it's going to be a little less visible. Just like this. And from those distances, say plus 50 feet, where we're going to be shooting with the zoom lens, I believe it's like a 25 to 140, so we'll be way far away, and I don't think at that distance you'll be able to see it much, but I wish I could show you a sample. That's pretty much what I'm going to do. Now the next problem would be getting it out past the break without the capsule getting wet, or minimizing the amount of moisture that it's going to take. So what we're going to use is a couple unlubricated condoms here. And after I mic them, I'm just going to, I don't have my knife on me. That's okay. So maybe just a tear. So now, once it's on the cast, I'll feed this in through here. And then I'll probably just secure it with a little bit of Next Care. So once it's on there, just kind of tape it off a bit so they can go out past the waves, and even if they get a little splash, it's not going to cover much. Now what I got to do once they're out there is jump in the water with them and pull this off. So, you know, as I mentioned, one person's going to be mic'd here. They're going to be looking that way. The wind is going to be blocking, the body's going to be blocking the wind from one side, and as they look that way, they'll be talking directly into the mic. Now for the other person, I'll do the opposite. I'll mic them over here, and then they'll be looking this way, talking to the other cast members, and the wind protection will be on this side, their body will be blocking wind from this side. And I hope this is all gonna go well. What I'll probably do also is go ahead and wrap this in a condom too and tape it off here, just in case a little moisture gets in here. I'm fully confident in Electrosonics hardware, and I don't think a little bit of moisture is going to hurt it, but any additional protection, it certainly is not going to hurt. So once they get out into the ocean, I'll pull this. The PDRs will already be recording, already jammed, and what they'll have on them is a nice dry mic. And that's how I'm going to tackle this really interesting and kind of complicated challenge that I've been given through production. And ideally, when you see it on the television, it'll sound nice and clean. We'll have some surfers sitting out there, you know, talking about surfing stuff, and you'll be able to hear them cleanly with low wind noise and time code synchronized broadcast wave files.